This is my audience. Audience, I would like you to hold your hands up. This is a position a lot of our young people will find themselves in if not given better alternatives. In 2001, my nephew Jason was murdered in his own home by a juvenile offender. In most cases, delinquent behavior is a cry for attention, which, if managed properly in the onset, can alter bad behavior and prevent a lifetime of bad consequences. I would like to discuss the rise of juvenile crime, the nature-nurture issue, and how socialization can be modified through adult intervention by giving time and attention and utilizing organizations such as the Boys and Girls Club, along with godly principles. Juvenile aggression in the United States is the cause for substantial criminal activity resulting in serious jail time and is a growing concern for law enforcement. Over the past 25 years, juveniles aged 10 to 17 have been involved in 25% of violent crime, although they make up only 12% of the population. Frequent alcohol, tobacco, and drug use is responsible for these crimes such as rape, robbery, and murder. The World Health Organization identifies juveniles as anyone between the ages of 10 to 19. Do you believe you can look at a newborn and predict whether or not that child is going to need some assistance? It's going to be, it's getting ready to go out. It's going to be a criminal. In the movie Twins, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, a scientist predicted from birth that the baby played by Danny DeVito would be of low intelligence. He also predicted that the baby that played Arnold Schwarzenegger would be of pure of heart, strong in mind and body, and good throughout. One baby was placed in an orphanage and the other was placed on a desert island away from civilization where he could be raised in the most intelligent environment possible. This is a prime example of a nature-nurture issue. Despite their physical appearances, these two fictitious twins made conscious decisions based on circumstances, as we all do. It's unlikely that anyone would make these kinds of decisions about a child in just a few moments at his mother's bedside. So remember that this is a fictitious story. However, it is symbolic of varying differences in all of us. It also symbolizes the crossover effect in our society. Violent behavior is no longer an isolated incident among a small group in pockets of society. Aggression and protest is a new norm in our culture. The nature-nurture issue addressed by David Meyer acknowledges similarities in the human family. We may be as different as our two fictitious twins biologically, developmentally, and environmentally. However, the manner in which each person interprets and responds to his own circumstances dictates his actions. Danny DeVito's character became an angry and bitter person and a thief, but not all children in the orphanage chose the life that he chose. We know that deviant behavior is sometimes rewarded. The tough guy gets the girl, gangsters get respect, and substance abuse is minimized and sometimes even considered cool. It is difficult for immature minds to distinguish right and wrong behavior when not clearly made obvious. Lawrence Basirillo, professor of sociology at Elon College, defined criminal behavior as deviant behavior. It is also an indication of the blind state that we live in right now. Socialization is described by Basirillo as, quote, a lifelong process through which people are prepared to participate in society at every level, end quote. Values are primarily learned at home, but there are outside influences such as peers, culture, and the media. This guy is blind. And he symbolizes the blind state. Can you see that? This guy is blind. Likewise, our culture is blind and can't see the danger of grooming 5- and 6-year-olds with the use of video games in the form of a gun. Shooting electronic characters is not such a big leap to real life scenarios. These behaviors are symbols of a blind culture. Scripture tells us in Matthew 5:14 through 16 that we are the light of the world and that we should not hide our light, but we should shine our light so that people can see it through the world, the darkness around them. A light is good for nothing if it is hidden. We should seek opportunities in our local church and in organizations like the Boys and Girls Club. Its soft Christian principles, noted in its creed, offers effective remedies for negative, unproductive habits. Denzel Washington credits this club for keeping him off the streets, out of trouble, and for channeling him in productive ways. I need my time. The club was started in Hartford, Connecticut in 1860 by Mary Goodman, Alice Goodman, and Elizabeth Hammersley. It was extended to include girls in 1990. My nephew Jason was a snappy dresser. The police speculated that this was the cause for his murder. He was a high school kid who loved dressing like P. Diddy. It would make him laugh to see that people would have to do a double take thinking that he was P. Diddy, when actually it was just him dressing in P. Diddy's chic and neat appearance. I wonder what Jason would have given for a real live person to take interest in him and take them under his wing, after, especially with the fact that he had just lost his father 6 years earlier. Violent crime is behavior perpetuated by a society that is blind to the contributing factors embedded in the norms of its culture. Crime is the symptom, but time and attention is the remedy. That if we would volunteer at places like our local church or places like the Boys and Girls Club, would make a great difference in our society. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.